we won't be here. We won't be here today. So, and I hope congratulations are still in order. So, congratulations from the
Yeah,
Spirit
thank you.
team. You're welcome, sir. So, quickly, sir, we're going to be running through a few highlights. We want to know how how you came about this visa, how and then we have a lot of people here. People will still listen to it. A lot of people will still get to listen to this. And then even though they are not going to be shoemakers or something, but I'm sure that the tips that we get from this interview would also help them in their different endeavors or in different pursuits in life. So let's start from the very beginning, sir, Mr. Ashaolu Emmanuel. How did it all start back in Nigeria? How did your shoemaking business, how did it start? Can you please run us through the beginning of this journey?
Right, okay. Right, once again, it's nice to be here. And right, so I'll start from, well, it started a long time ago. I think about 12, 13 years ago. So yeah, it started when I was in school. And I have this zeal of I love shoes. I love wearing shoes. I have a lot of shoes then.
Wow.
So I have this local shoemaker that usually makes shoes for me. So but I
Wow.
noticed a couple of my friends and church members always ask me, where do you get your shoes from? So I would direct them to this my local shoemaker. Okay, go and make your shoes from this guy. So it started from there. Then I realized I can be a middleman. Why not? And get my own share from the distance. So once they ask me, I'll
Sure.
tell them, okay, I sell shoes. Then I'll get the sample from them, give it to this guy who make it for them. Then I'll take my own profit from it. So I started that way. Then I was like, I can make this shoe myself. Why not go into this thing fully? So I reached out to this person, and I learned how to make the shoe. Then I started making the shoes myself. So I'll say it started all from there. Yeah.
Wow. 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 That's a very good one. So that was where the inspiration came from. Oh,
Exactly.
beautiful. Beautiful. When you started this craft, sir, did you ever think that it will get a global recognition? Mm,
Uh, well, I've never limited myself. I would say I know at some point I will have a global, but I don't know it to be this early. Do you understand? Yeah. So, but I've always have zeal for this work, and I know I've always known that one day this will give me a global recognition. Yeah.
wow, that's very, very good. Interesting. So this particular craft now has given you something much bigger, a bigger platform, which is the Global Talent Visa. And that's why we are here. Can you please run us through the process, how you came about this Global Talent Visa, the process, things we need to know around it, sir? Can you please run us through?
All right. So the global talent visa is well, we have a lot of sectors in global talent. We have the technician, we have fashion, we have we have photography, we have, so depending on what sector you are in. So, but tonight I'll be talking about the fashion industry. So now, for the fashion designers, and the last interview I did, I made mention of people mistaking fashion for fashion designing. So there are a lot of people that have reached out to me. I want to do
Mm,
fashion. Okay, what part of fashion are you in? I'm into fashion. Are you a
mm,
fashion designer? So there's a difference between you being into the fashion industry and you being a fashion designer. So fashion designer means
mm,
you have a craft, you create something,
mm.
you design something. So
Okay.
that's what you're looking into.
Mm,
Someone like that does makeup, like a makeup artist, will say, I'm into fashion now. That's fashion. Hairstylist, I'm into fashion, but that's not fashion designing. So if you go online, check
mm,
gov.uk and put hairstylist, it to tell you it's not into any category for global talent because there's no category
wow.
designing. So you need to know, am I into fashion designing? That's the first thing.
Mm,
You want to apply under fashion designing. So if you've confirmed that and okay, you're into fashion designing, I think the first criteria is you should have been in your business for at least 5 years. So you should
wow.
have been in business for at least 5 years. So after that, sorry. So yes, so after that, they need us to. Well, I think they have two categories as well in fashion designing, which is exceptional talent and exceptional promise. So I think it's in all sectors. Exceptional talent. So exceptional talent is for people that are already at the top, are top players in the industry. So if you are already there in the industry, that's exceptional talent. So that's 3 years to ILR, Okay, so exceptional promise are people that has potential. You're a potential leader. So that was 5 years to ILR. So now going through the evidences, the first thing they need from us is 10 evidences, and those 10 evidences must come from these four categories. The first category is industry recognition, right? The second one is media recognition. The third one is support and sponsorship, and the last one is retail sales to a retail to a luxury retailer. That's the fourth one. So out of these four that I've mentioned, they need you to just pick two that you can support with 10 evidences. So they don't need you to get to know all the, or to have all the four. So out of these four that I've mentioned, media recognition, industry recognition, sales from a luxury
Mm-hmm.
client, and support and sponsorship, just look at them. Okay, which two can you present an evidence to support? If you have the four,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. You can go ahead and
Beautiful.
submit.
Mm.
You need at least two from it. So let's take, for instance, you pick media recognition and sales to a luxury client. So you need to support both with 10 evidences. So not 10 each,
Wow.
but 10.
10 each?
No,
Oh,
10
okay,
also.
10 altogether. Okay.
5-5, it can be 6-4, it can be 8-2. Yeah. So just make sure you support 10 each. So yeah, so after that, I'll still go back to how you can get those evidences. So after you've submitted your 10 evidences, they need CV from you. So they need you to submit your CV. So they just CV is what they just added. It wasn't there before. When I did my CV wasn't there, but I think they are trying to make it, I won't say adder, for people. So they need your CV. So that CV must contain, just like a normal CV, must contain everything you've done, all your 5 years or 10 years in the business. What have you achieved? What are the awards? What have you been? Have you received? Who have you worked with? What project have you done? So they just need you to sell yourself. Because one thing that they made clear is because at the moment I'm partnering with an organization that helps designers in the United Kingdom. So one thing I heard was is that even with
Wow.
your CV, you can be disapproved. Like they can decide not to approve your application if they are not satisfied with your CV, just the CV. Yes. So
Mm.
you can have your 10 letters of 10 evidences, your letters of recommendation, and if your CV is not concrete enough, they will decide not to. So the CV is as important as every other document. So
Mm.
after the CV, you need 3 letters of recommendation. So 3 letters of recommendation, two must come from an organization in fashion industry.
Wow. Wow.
One of those organizations must be a United Kingdom based organization.
Wow.
So the other one can come from any part of the world. Then the third one can come from either an organization or an individual that is into the fashion. But that individual as well must be a top player
Mm.
in the industry. So those are the evidences they need. So if you have all these, all you need to do is just submit your application for endorsement. And after endorsement, they will issue your endorsement letter and the likes, then you apply for your visa. So let me go back to the 10 evidences. So I'll talk majorly on media recognition and sales to a luxury client. So if you want to get a media recognition, what they mean by media recognition is maybe you have a collection. Your collection must have been reviewed by a media body. Let's take, for instance, our media in Nigeria, for instance. We have media like Guardian, we have the Punch. So your collection, if you release a collection, they must have reviewed that correct collection. So probably in terms of maybe critique kind of thing. Yeah,
Okay.
so it must be viewed by them. So you must have those media recognition. You must have those like 5, 6, depends on how many you can get. So if you have like 6 of them, that's 6 of your evidence is sorted. So letters of, sales to a luxury client. What they mean by sales to a luxury client is your product must have been sold to a
Mm.
luxury. So, well, and the term luxury we must take note of that term luxury. So they don't. Let's say for instance, you're selling your product for £30, for instance, up and down top. You can't class that as luxury. So
Wow.
if you are saying it's a luxury, then the price must also be luxury. This-
Luxurious.
It must be luxurious. So you need probably, let's say, about $100, $150 thereabout. Your product must what then? That your product must not be the only luxury product in their website. So that means apart from your product, they must be selling other things that are also what called luxury. So now from this, you need a conversation that you had with them. So if you sold to them, you guys have chatted before. Okay, what are the conversation you've had with them? When do you guys conclude that okay, this is the amount of product we are getting from you? How do you deliver those products to them? Do you use DHL? Do you use UPS? All those logistics. So you need to give those evidences. And if your product is on their website or in their store, just take a screenshot of your product on their website and add it to your supporting evidence that okay, this is my product on their website. So if you send them an invoice during the process, also submit the invoice you sent to them. If they made the deposit, the screenshot of the receipt or everything, just put it there. So that's what we need for sales to a luxury client. Okay, so yeah, so that's just the evidences you need. So if anybody has a question, then I will.
Okay, then you touch on other sides. Wow, this sounds quite a lot for me. And if I may quickly chip in, like how many months altogether would this process take on a normal day? Like
it depends on what you have at the moment. So let's take for instance, I got to know about Global Talent 2023. And immediately I got to know about Global Talent, I made my research. Okay, I looked at the list of things they needed from us. So I checked it. Which of these things do I have? And which of these things do I need to work on? So what I used to advise people is just take your time. Global Talent is not something you need to rush into, because I have a client at the moment that I think he has done it like 4 times.
Oh my.
And he's been, do you understand? So it's not something you need to just take your time, look into it very well. Which of these evidences do I have? Which do I need to work on? Okay, which do I have? And I feel okay, if I submit it, it will be a bit. Maybe I need to do more things to make it concrete enough. So you just need to take your time. I'll just say that. So, but it depends on what evidence you have. Let's take for instance, out of the 10 evidences, for instance, you have 8. Yours will be faster than ask just 2.
Somebody who has just 2.
So it depends on what you have. That will determine the time it will take you to apply.
Wow. Well done, sir. Sir, it's sounding like, oh, you said you've been in the industry for about 12, 13 years. Very good. But then how did your work in Nigeria and your achievements in Nigeria, how did it help you get this global talent visa? What role did it play, like your background in Nigeria, bringing all that into the UK? What role did it play in helping you secure this visa?
Yeah, I would say majorly what really helped me is documentation and keeping records. So I know a few of us in Nigeria, or I would say many of us are talented, but we don't keep records. We don't keep records. So, you don't know when those records will be useful for you. I have a friend, for instance, he's into fashion, and I've always I advise him, just post your stuff. Don't keep them in your gallery. Post them. If you post them out, the dates you posted them will be recorded, and you can use that to prove that I've been in this thing for long.
For this long.
Exactly. So what really helped me is I kept my documents. I make sure I have records, even if they're not so much. The little I have, I make sure I have records. So another thing is networking. You can't be into fashion or into business and you say, okay, I want to keep to myself. I don't want to speak with this person. You need to network with as many persons as possible. Because let's say, for instance, the letters of recommendation. What they need from letters of recommendation is you should have worked with that person recommending you. You should have worked with that person, or probably done something with that person in a fashion capacity. So it's in that way the person will now recommend that, okay, I've done this and this with this person. And I can tell the United Kingdom that this person is an asset to the United Kingdom and will add to the economy. So if you've not worked with somebody, how would they recommend?
Of course, who would they recommend you?
So networking is also very, 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 very important. Yeah. So I'll say those are the few things that helped me during my application.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, sir. Um, for this particular global talent visa we're talking about, are there some things that makes your application stand out? If there are, what are those things that made your own application stand out? Or is it just general? Once you submit all these things, it's fine. Anybody can get it once you have the things. Or there are things that actually makes it stand out.
I would say, United Kingdom, once you have your documents, and once your documents are
Okay.
genuine, there's, I would say there's 90% chance you are going to get a visa. But there are some
Okay.
few things for instance, when I was in Nigeria, I did some empowerment. So at some point, there was a time I empowered few corp members, and I empowered about 15 corp members, teaching them how to make shoes for free, like
Wow.
charging them nothing. So, and there was a time I empowered few youth in my local government as well. I did a
Wow.
collaboration with one of a politician in Nigeria. So I put that as well as part of my evidence and what I've done to the community. And in
Oh,
this part
okay.
of something like that, yes, I
Yes, I
give
agree.
that these are the things I've done. This and this is how I did it. If you have a pictorial evidence, fine. Do you understand? So all these things are also will also add to the success of your application. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely, definitely, definitely. Thank you, sir. Um, it's obvious that when we moved as adults, when we came into the UK, we experienced things like cultural shock, right? Things that we don't
mhm,
probably do back home, and
yeah,
then we get to
yeah.
meet it here, and there were a lot of adjustments. Now, for your
Mhm.
own business, sir, were there things that you had to adjust into that were, so to say, like cultural shocks for you in your business? So, was it like, what was it like moving your craft, your business to the UK from Nigeria? What was it like? Was it
Yeah.
challenging?
So
Was it smooth?
the
Mm,
first thing I did was I studied the environment. I
okay,
look at, okay, I make shoes. What kind of shoes are these people wearing? That's the first.
okay,
So before I
okay,
even start, I make sure I notice, okay, this place we have more of winter than summer. Okay,
okay.
so I can't be saying the type of materials I'm using to make shoes in Nigeria that has probably sun
Mm,
almost every time to make shoes here. That so the weather condition is different, and the way we dress in Nigeria compared to the way they dress in
also
the United
different.
Kingdom is different. So apart from the weather, so looking at that, what I did was at first I started making shoes that suit into the condition of the United Kingdom. Okay,
Mm,
at so there was in Nigeria, I used to make short heel shoes. So the heels of the shoes. So when I got here, I noticed okay, we can have snow, we can have rain can be falling, and some people can be feeling cold. So if I'm making short
mhm,
heel shoe rather, then I'm not going to sell much. So I increased the heel of my shoe. You understand? So
mm,
slow, you understand? Can so and also the length as well. So I usually make ankle shoes. So I increase it
mm,
a bit. So all those things are what we need to also consider if you want to enter into their market. Then after that, then what I did recently is because I'm showcasing in London Fashion Week this year, and my
beautiful.
my my brand is showcasing culture, diversity, and culture. So what I'm doing is
Okay,
I'm blending the African culture into the United Kingdom culture, right?
beautiful.
So in such a way that we are trying to make boots with Ashaolu, for instance.
Mm,
That
wow.
blends African and the Western together. You get so if they see something like that, they'll feel
Mhm,
okay, this fits into our weather condition, and
mhm,
this also looks nice. It's like we are also wearing other people's. There are a lot of people in the United Kingdom, even the British, that love other people's culture. So they feel like, oh, this
mm,
looks beautiful, and it can blend with our weather condition and the way we dress as well. So
mm,
and we are making slides with Asho. Okay, so few things like that we are doing.
mm,
So yeah, so what I would say is
mm,
just study the way they do their things here. So if you can blend it, fine. And if you can do okay, I'll sort the ones for Nigeria separately, I'll sort the ones for here separately.
okay,
Fine. So it depends on how you
also
want to
good.
go about it. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, this is powerful. I can say that in your business, there's really, aside from the fact that your industry is more about creativity, right? You create, and so there needs to be a lot of creativity. But I can see that you're bringing that in here, And you talked earlier about collaboration, and that is really, really, really top notch for me. Okay, so that's very powerful. Now, I know social media plays a big role for creatives in the industry, for creatives generally.
Yeah.
Now, how has social media helped your business? How has it helped your visibility in the UK? Has it done something significant that you know, oh, this I can attribute to social media? What's the place
Yeah.
role of social media? Yeah,
Yeah,
in the UK.
I'll say in this present world, I'll say 70% of business owners sells more on social media. You
Mm,
get
mhm.
yes, I'll say that you sell more on social media if you know how to use the media. So that's what one
Mm,
of my friends used to tell us, that you need to know how to use the media if you really want to sell on social media. There's a little
mm,
thing that analog can do. Me,
yeah.
if I say I want to advertise myself, I want to do the marketing myself. How
How
many
many
people do I
people
want
do
to
you
reach?
want to reach? Yes,
That, that's the
I
thing.
agree.
So I think social media is very important. And what I would advise people to do is don't don't um don't be scared of paying for ads on social media.
Okay,
If you have to pay
okay.
for ads, pay for ads. So what I did was I'll pay for ads. The ads will reach where I can't reach. If I say, okay, I want this ad
Definitely.
to reach this so region, I will customize the region based on what I want, based on the kind of customers I want. Do you understand?
Mm,
So
mm,
I want it to reach this region. I want it to reach both Nigeria and United Kingdom. I want it to reach from this age to this age. Social media will do that for you. Do you understand? So, and
right.
another thing about social media is, I posted my success story on TikTok, and I don't know it will go viral, right?
Mm,
So I posted it on TikTok, and all of a sudden I started seeing 10,000 views, 20,000 views, 50,000 views.
wow.
I was like, wow,
Wow.
that's the power of social media.
That
So
is
after
it.
that, I've received a lot of calls, a lot of recognitions,
I
and everything.
know.
If not for social media, then nobody will know. So yeah, I'm just
Exactly.
yeah. So that's to just show you how powerful the media is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's so sweet. That's a beautiful one there. I can imagine just sitting down there and you're seeing this music. Ah, what did I say? What happened? Oh wow, that's so
uh,
good. That's it. People want to hear stories of successes
yeah,
of people who have gone through paths before so that they know how to, tread on those paths. So thank you very much, sir. But then
yeah.
how did you get your first set of customers in the UK? Like before you started doing the global talent, before you gained this visibility, how did you get your first set of customers? Because I'm sure that since you came, you had a mind that was going to do this here, right? So how did
Mhm.
you get your first set of customers, little by little like that?
So I would say my first set of customers. I have a couple of customers that relocated before me to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
So
Oh,
before I came in, I already told them I'm coming in. I sent
okay.
them coming in, and I will continue my business when I get there. So that was
Okay.
my first set of customers, and also the
Okay.
church played a very massive role in
The
my
church.
customer base. So I played drums for my church.
Oh,
Okay,
beautiful.
yeah, I used to attend. I once lived in Aberdeen, so I used to attend City of God
Oh,
in Auburn.
oh,
Yeah, so
oh.
that was my church. So I played drums there, and few of them still patronize me till today.
Oh, beautiful.
And when I got to, I live presently in Newcastle. I'll say they played a massive role. After
Mm.
placing an order, recommending me to their friends, their family.
Oh, that's
That's how
sweet.
you get customer. That's how you get customer base anywhere you go. If you have a
Mm.
community, make sure you don't just sit without telling them about your craft. So what I did was, when I got to church, I told the keyboardists I make shoes. I give them my Instagram handle. You can check them out. Give them my website. Oh, you make shoes. Most of them, few of them will not know. If you can't write it on your head
Of
that you make shoes,
course,
you need to
of
say it out.
course, of
Yeah,
course.
you need to say it out. So that
Mm-hmm.
was what I did. I approached my pastor. Can I make you few pairs of shoes? And when people see
Wow.
him wearing it, they'll feel like, who made
Of
this shoe?
course, of
You
course.
understand? Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll say the church played a very massive role, and
Oh,
also my
that's
place of
beautiful.
work as well. I don't stop talking about my business. So
Oh,
I
look
talk
at
about
that.
my business every time. So I tell people that care to know that, okay, I make shoes. This is what I
Oh,
do.
wow,
This is my service
wow,
I do. If you want
wow.
to make, yeah, you want to place order, just do that. So I'll say anybody that is starting in the UK, don't be shy. I know it's a new
Right?
environment. Yeah, fine.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it's your craft, it's your business. So you
Exactly.
need to be proud of whatever you're doing. Tell people
Sure.
about it. You understand? Tell people, even if it's we that you will tell first before you tell the. You understand?
Exactly, of
Let
course.
people, yeah, let people know what you're doing. Then from there to
Mm.
expand. Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's a very good one. I think that principle is also from the Bible. You know, when Jesus was saying, when you're preaching the gospel, you start from Jerusalem before you go to the
exactly.
other
Yeah,
part. So you
yes,
start from
yes,
people around you first before you
yeah,
then launch it forth.
exactly.
Because those are the people that will actually recommend you. Those are the people that will say, oh, we've seen his work and all that. Well done, sir.
Yes.
That's very, very, very good, sir. Okay, sir. Now, we know that every journey has both wins and struggles, right? Every journey,
Mhm.
every business, everything. Now, for you, what have been the biggest strengths driving your success, or what challenges have you had to overcome in the process of doing this business here in the UK, especially?
I would say at first, well, I would say my biggest strength is I have zeal for what I. So apart from it being a business,
Okay,
I love shoes.
you love
So no
it.
matter how hard it gets, I still love shoes. So
Oh, that's very
that's
important.
even in Nigeria there have been a lot of ups and downs. So I used to always say, if you are going into a business, make sure you go into something you love
You
doing.
love to
There'll be a
do,
time money will not come.
right?
There will be times money will not come. Look at COVID-19, for instance.
Mm, 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 mm,
There's no business
mm,
that no, that doesn't get the effect of COVID. You understand? So yeah, so just know you love what you're doing, and that will keep you going. So I would say
mm.
that's my biggest strength as we move in my
Beautiful.
business. And
Awesome.
few this thing and what I've challenges I've had in the United Kingdom is I'll say navigating through will I say the sales world, how to expand your sales. It's a new
Okay.
environment. I don't know much about not until now that I know few things. When I just came in, the only people I know that can buy my product are my church members. I don't
Right.
know how to reach the wider world apart from social media. I don't know how to reach probably retailers that will get my product in bulk and sell on my behalf. So I'll say that was a challenge for me as at then. And also I was looking at, okay, how will I start doing these things myself in the United Kingdom? I have a factory in Nigeria where they send them over. But I'm thinking, okay, how would I also set up a factory, even if it's a mini factory in the United Kingdom? So that was also a challenge for me because I need to navigate. Okay, what are the things I need to put in place? Is there any restriction? Because environmental pollution or anything is there? So that was also a challenge at some point. So yeah, so how to navigate? Yeah, that was a challenge for me.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Thank you very much, sir. That's a good one. Now, the truth is that many of our listeners, right, they are thinking about their own dreams because we can actually call you a success story now. Because when you were trying and trying, nobody would say, but then the moment you eat it and then you get it done, is a success story. And we can't actually call you a success story now. And then we have people with dreams as well. It might not be shoemaking, it might be something else, it might be in another field, it might be in the tech world, it might be whatever. Now, whether applying for the Global Talent Visa or growing their crafts, based on your journey, what advice would you share with them that can make them, also it's a success story or reach that, goal that they're actually aiming at from your story?
Yeah.
What can you share
Yeah.
with them?
So I will say, like I said earlier, just take your time. Okay.
Okay.
I believe all of us on this platform are believers. Put God first in everything you're doing. That's the first thing I would say. Put God first
Yeah.
in whatever decisions you're making, or whatever aspiration you have. Just put God first. If God say that's the way, then definitely that is the way. If God wants you to do something else, then you have to do something else. So that's why I say put God first. Then also take your time. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Don't say because this person has achieved this, I also need to achieve this ASAP. There are times individual we have different times. You understand? Someone can even start after you, and the person can achieve what you've not achieved. That doesn't mean you are not
Mm,
doing well. You understand? That
right?
doesn't mean you're not doing well. Yorks can come in a very bigger platform. You understand? So I will just say they should take their time. They should be prayerful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they
Okay.
should love what they are doing. Yes, if
Mm.
they notice they don't love what they are doing, I won't advise them to even go ahead and do it. If they are
Okay.
doing it all because of money, there will be times you even need to spend your own money for the
Right.
business. Yeah, so
Mm.
just make sure you love what
Mm.
you're doing. Yeah,
Mm.
that's it. That's just it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, for somebody who is aspiring to go for this global talent visa, what practical steps can they start taking now? Like now, like all that you've said, they've not had it before. They just want to start, and they are really aspiring that one day I want to get this global talent visa. What can I start doing now? Like now, what are practical steps can I start taking now towards that?
Okay. So if the person is probably person if the person is in the fashion industry already,
Okay.
the person is in the fashion industry already, and the person don't have enough records, the person should start keeping records now.
Okay. Okay.
The person should start. Let's take for instance your website. If you have a website, start working on you getting the website.
Oh, very
Get
important.
a
Yeah.
website. Keep records of everything you're doing, your work, the smallest of your craft. Make sure you put them online. Put them where people can see it. Put them
Okay.
where the date because in your application they won't ask you to submit. We have something in Nigeria they call it CAC. CAC will show the time your business has been the time your business was registered. But yeah, they don't need you to show CAC. They just need the proof you are showing must show that you've been in the industry for long. So if you have something on your website, for instance, or on your social media, let's say they now went down and they saw that you posted something 2017, they will know, okay, yes, you've been in the industry for long.
For that
You
long.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just try and be posting whatever you feel it's good and you feel it's what the world needs. Just post it out. Don't keep them in your gallery. Okay. Then
Okay.
check truegov.uk. Look at the requirement. Look at it very, very well. Understand it. If anybody needs any clarification, they can chat me up on Instagram. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll be happy to
Okay, sir. Thank you
assist.
for that,
Yeah,
sir.
so but yeah, just
Thank
check
you for that.
what they need. Just check what they need online. Make sure look at the ones you have because that was the first thing I did. List out the ones you know you have. You understand? And those ones, the ones you think you have, make sure you ask people that this thing I've checked this. I think I have this. Am I correct? Like, is this going to work? So if the person tell you, okay, this is going to work, then you definitely know you already have this. Then you work on the ones you don't have. So once you have,
Mm-hmm.
if you list out the ones you have, the ones you don't have, look for a better way, a very good way to get them. Look for a very good way to get them. Don't try and forge, I will say, because there are a lot of people out there now. They will take a lot of
Oh.
money from you for global talent visa. They will forge documents. Some people even charge £14,000. They will forge documents for you.
For
At the end
what?
of the day, they will refuse the that's what people are doing now.
Mm.
So don't be too desperate. Yeah, I'll say don't be too
Mm-hmm.
desperate.
Mm-hmm.
These things are
Mm-hmm.
achievable. They put it online because they know you
Right?
can achieve it. Yeah, so
Right?
there are things you can get. So just take your time. If it needs you to give yourself 6 months, 1 year. I started my process in 2023. I applied 2025. Yeah,
Wow.
so if it needs you to give yourself enough time, give yourself enough time. You
Wow.
understand? It's
Wow.
better you apply once and get approved than apply
Exactly.
multiple times.
Then keep doing it. Yeah. That can be
So yeah,
draining and discouraging.
exactly. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm, mm. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for that. Now, what of those who feel what I'm doing is not enough to get that
Okay.
global talent visa? Someone who is but who is saying that I feel my work is not big enough to get that visa. So, what advice do you give to those category of people?
Yeah, so if you feel your work is not good enough for global talent visa, then you need to look at how you can scale up and improve in your craft. So it depends on what you need to improve on. I can say, okay, my work is not good enough because I don't have good graphics or I
Or
don't have
big
good.
enough, like big
Or,
enough, because sorry sir, I actually went on Instagram and I saw your shoes and I was like, Ellie, I know they should give this man global talent visa. When I saw your shoes, I said, no, they need to give him. If they don't give him, go over. So now, but somebody who hasn't gotten to that level, whose work is not that big. You
Okay,
get it,
so
sir.
big in the terms of, are you saying big in perfect, like will I say
Yeah, to that point, I think your work is it's like perfection. It's like you know these good designers that design the brands we know they are designing is looking really
amen?
really. So for somebody who is just trying and then looking at it and saying, "Ah, if this person is the one that I'm far from it," that's
Yeah. So what I'll say is, if you're already into it, then you can do it. That's
okay,
We all started from somewhere.
right?
If you go to the probably if you go down my page, you see probably 20, maybe 2017, 2018. You see few works that I've done. If you compare it with these ones that I'm doing now, you see a very big difference there. So I won't
Okay,
say
I agree.
because then I'm not meeting up with or I'm not there, I will now relent and say I'm not doing it again. You need to keep improving. Then what I'll say is research about your craft. Make research about your craft. You've learned from your boss. Your boss has done his own part. He has taught you the basics. Now it's left for you to
Take it a
scale
step
up.
further.
You understand? There are
Mm,
courses online, even for shoemaking. There are courses online you can apply for. You understand? There are also what am I going to say? Packagings that you can. You understand? The way you package your product also matters. It matters a lot.
mm.
It
Yeah,
matters a
you're
lot.
right.
So you
Mm,
need to make your research on how well can I package my product. I would look more. There was a time in Nigeria I had to. I saw there were a lot of competitions, in shoemaking and everything. And what I did
you're
was, okay, I
right.
said, if you're getting a pair of shoe from me, I'll add a belt to it. So everybody knows
Okay.
if I'm getting a shoe from Afia, I'm getting an extra belt. Do you understand?
Mm,
So, and I did increase my price because of that. That's why I
wow.
said your business should not be, well, it's for you to make profit, but at the same time, you need customer base first. Customer first,
Sure.
your brand name
Sure.
first, and you start making profits.
Perfect. You're
Once
right,
they
sir.
know your brand, once they trust your brand, call it for them £200, they'll pay it.
Mm, I
Pay
agree.
it. Yeah. So what I
Mm,
did was I added belt. At some point, I added socks to it. So if you are getting a pair of shoe, it's coming with a belt and a pair of socks. Do you
mm.
get? So
Oh, wow.
if I'm a customer, I'll say, okay, if I'm paying, let's take for Nigeria as an example, if I'm paying 50,000 naira to get just a shoe from this person, from Mr. A,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm paying the same amount to
The
get a
same
shoe,
amount, and I'll get a belt. Yeah.
from this
I'll
person, I
rather
would
go
rather
for
go to
that.
this person. So even if I'm
Yeah.
making a profit of 1,000 naira there, I know I've gained
With
a
a
customer.
larger customer base. Exactly.
You
Exactly.
understand? So maybe after a few months, I can now increase my price. The person
Mm,
is already my customer. You
yeah.
understand? They've trusted me. They trust my brand. They will
Exactly.
still pay for it.
Mm, exactly. Mm,
You
you're
understand?
right,
So
sir.
that's it. So just they should scale up. They should make research on how they can package their product, because no matter how
Mm.
small, there was a time I bought a wristwatch, and I'm telling you, man, the package that came with this wristwatch, I was like, no, 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 no. Even if I'm paying for just this package, then it's
Right?
worth it.
You're right.
I unboxed a lot of this thing before I got to the wristwatch itself. Do you understand? So that's just it. So now, if I'm selling in the UK now, for instance, I have the customized socks that I'm working on
Wow.
at the
Wow.
moment. I'm not selling
Wow.
it. It's just for my
Wow.
customers. So what I'm doing with
Wow.
it is by Christmas, I'll give it to the few customers I have. People
Wow.
ordering shoes for Christmas, they'll have a pair of customized socks.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Wow.
So all
Mm,
those things also matters.
mm,
All
mm,
those things. So
mm.
it's not something that is not achievable. It is achievable.
Of course, it
So
is
just do your
achievable.
research. Make sure you do
Mm,
your research, because the world is
okay.
evolving. And if you're on
Yes.
a spot, the
The
people will
world
just
will leave it behind. Mm-hmm.
move on. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm. Yeah, wow. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure we've covered, we have a program in church actually, so we will be rounding up
Okay.
now. But
All right.
then, before we go, we want to look at your brand, the happier brand. Where do you see your brand, sir, in the next 5, 10 years? If you are here already at this point, where do you see it in the next 5 years, in the next 10
Global
years?
by God's grace. Global by God's grace. Like more global than
Global.
this by God's
Our
grace.
prayers are with you, sir. Our prayers are with
Yeah,
you, sir.
yeah.
The
Thank
Lord
you.
will
Thank
grant your heart desires in Jesus'
you.
name.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
So finally, sir, I know you've given a lot of advices and all, but then to wrap it up, but we'll still see if maybe one or two persons have a question. But to wrap it up, what would you leave with our audience for today, or any other person that will still get to watch the video? One sentence of encouragement, what would that be?
Yeah, so I would say now we're talking about global talent. I'll say global talent is not, it's not something that is not achievable. We can,
Okay.
if you are doing the business, if you're into fashion, you can achieve, you can get global talent. For instance,
Okay.
someone like me, I would say for now, I've not seen any other shoemaker that have gotten global talent visa. So that was like a
Oh,
discovery for me when I was doing my post
wow.
application. There's no shoemaker that has gotten the visa.
Wow.
So
Wow.
now
Wow. So you
I'll
are
say
the
I'm the
first.
that has gotten global talent visa.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow.
so that's why I would say it is achievable. If you put
Oh.
your mind, you can achieve it.
All right. Thank you very much. I think that's enough for that's enough to take us through and walk us through the process. Thank you very much, sir. Will I ask now my wonderful audience? Do we have anybody with any question? A special question for Mr. Ashaolu Emmanuel. Rachel, please, if you would help me manage that side, sir. If there's any person, anybody with any question.
No, no question. So
No
the only
question.
question
Okay.
I want to ask, thank you, sir, for for being open, and I thank our sister for those questions. So what I want to
You're
ask,
welcome.
sir, how do we link? One of the things that doing business, how does doing business help the economy? So that it will
Mm,
come from the part that we're doing, not just getting the visa alone. Because I watch
okay.
your Instagram, I saw that you went for Fashion Week, and the only way that we're able to do that was that they saw something different that can contribute towards the economy. Maybe you can share as you are doing this business, how has it helped you to contribute towards the economy beyond global talent? I don't know whether you understand this question, because as I saw you were able to go to Fashion Week, all of that. How do we, so anybody who is doing business, global talent is fine. How do we see this as a form of contributing towards the economy? And I
Mm,
will add a layer to that question. I and the sister, anywhere in the same WhatsApp group, there's a particular guy who is doing barber, right? Which is fine. And I just saw that this barber won an award by the Scottish people, and they said he's contributing towards the beauty industry. For my mind, how does barber contribute towards? So, so I now understand that we tend to underrate all this. They are not little.
mm,
Nobody
mm,
can do without shoes. Nobody can do without
mm.
the spec you have your eyes or your shirt. So how do we see some of these things that we're doing? How is it relevant in the bigger picture in the economy?
Excuse me.
Okay, so I would say looking at craft as an example, uh, the way it's helping the economy, I would say it's well, it generates money for them. And let me start with that. Yeah. So now, for business owners in the UK, we take something we call VAT. You understand that way we pay tax and the like. So that is also contributing to the economy. So that's for the monetary part. Then the other part is, for we that came from a totally different cultural environment. If we are bringing our culture into the United Kingdom and we are mixing their culture with our culture, I think it's also adding to the economy indirectly. So in that way, people who want to explore what you are selling. They want to explore what you are creating. They want to explore your craft. You understand?
Mhm.
So in that way, also you are adding to the economy of the United Kingdom, because this global talent majorly the reason why they are bringing this visa out is they know if you are a talent, a talent cannot be anywhere and not contribute to the. And look at what I said I did in Nigeria as for example. I did empowerment, for instance, for youth, for corp members. So they know if I come into the United Kingdom, me that I've done that in the past, I can definitely do that here. So I can say, okay, I want to empower maybe a few 50 persons, residents of the United Kingdom, without collecting any money from them. Do you understand? So if I'm doing that for free, that means I'm empowering those people to also create job for them, pay tax. You understand? And so in that way, indirectly, we are adding to the economy of the country. So they know if you're a talent cannot be anywhere without making what would I put, positive impact in the economy. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing those examples. And the one that touches more the NYC part, and I think, and I thank you for driving a lot of examples. And becoming read to me is that, we just have to start from where we are. Ability to transfer the knowledge you have to another person, ability to, all of that. So I think that's one of my own questions. And I want to really thank you. We may try to host you in the remaining part of the year because we want to have a trade fair in church. A
Okay.
trade fair. So, and we keep you in the loop so that, because the other question I want to ask is that how do we scale business here in the UK? How do you scale? How do you, I don't know whether I've touched on that. How do you scale our
Yeah.
business? How do you move from 5 customers to 100 customers to 1,000 customers? All of that. And does scaling come with challenges? So I think that would be the last question I want to ask before we run to just.
Yeah, so it's scaling in the United Kingdom. I would say you need the right information. You need the right information. So if you're a business person in the UK and you don't have the right information, you just realize you're trying to sell and it's not really moving, and it will be discouraging. So for instance, I like I said, I'm partnering with an organization, UDGN. So what we do is we help designers in the United Kingdom, fashion designers, we connect them with retailers, we connect them with people they can work with, we connect them with even manufacturers. If you need a manufacturer, probably you don't have your equipment here and you need people to manufacture for it. So we do that. So and I realize most of these people in this incubator are now are starting to see the beauty of their work because it's now been appreciated by these retailers, appreciated by these organizations, and they are getting a wider audience because of this exposure. So that's why I said you need the right information, you need the right people around you, you need to also network wherever you are. If you see someone that is into this, don't be too shy to go and meet them. It's either they say yes or they say no. You understand? Get contact. That's just it. Like, for instance, my letters of recommendation. The person I got my letters of recommendation from someone in Canada. I've once met her once, and I met her in an occasion where sincerely I shouldn't even approach her to get a contact. But I feel no, this is a senior in the industry. I don't even know I was going to do global talent when I got the contact. So this is a senior in the industry. It won't be bad if I get your contact. So I told her, this is my page, this is what I do. I showed her a few of my works, and she was like, oh yeah, I think we'll be able to do 1 or 2 things together. We exchanged contact, and sincerely, that was how I got my letters of recommendation. Do you understand? So assuming I sat down and I didn't take that move, it's yeah. So I think we should just leave our how will I put it? You us being shy, we should put it aside if we really want to do business. Talk to people, be in the right circle of people. You understand? Get the right information about your business, and even if it's for you to take a course, there are a lot of fashion courses in the UK. Those courses will also connect you with few persons. If you are taking a course, let's say like London Fashion or business school, for instance, if you are taking an online course, in that class, you see a lot of people that have been in the UK for years, that have been selling the UK. You can make contacts from there. You understand? So all those things are not wasting of money. It's just for you to also connect and meet new people. So yeah, so that's what I'll say on that. Maybe when we have a bigger platform, then I will elaborate.
Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much. My guy Stanley, I think it's a very good way to end the event. But what we just want to pray that thank you for refreshing us. We do pray that
You're
next
welcome.
time we're going to be hearing from you. You are not going to go global, you are going to cover more ground in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you for sharing. You are not hiding facts. You were sharing. Abi Stanley, you were just sharing with us what you did. And something is strange. We did not send any questions to you. You're just pouring your heart, all of that. I only message you on Instagram, and thank you so much. Eshegonio. So thank you so much, our audience. So we have to go now so that we can go to the church.